Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a wonderful day. Why not? And without further ado, let's jump right into it. In news that nearly destroyed the insides of the internet, Elon Muskingson has recently been prominently in the news. And he said on Twitter, now known as X, that he will never, ever, ever launch a cryptocurrency token. He made the statement in response to a post by a user on the platform about fake coin projects using Elon Musk's name and that of the platform, I guess, X Twitter. So, where doth I begin? Many years ago, it was speculated that at some point Elon Muskingson was going to make his own crypto coin. Why? Because I think people just assumed that he was going to do it. I could have totally seen it happening because it's money and he has money, probably wants more money. However, he quickly latched on to Bitcoin, and the rumor goes, this has been a rumor for a number of years, never fully substantiated, that allegedly he went to a bunch of Bitcoin developers asking to get control of the project. Allegedly, they said no. And then allegedly, he went to people from Dogecoin, and they became best friends, allegedly, and this is why he loves Dogecoin, allegedly. So a lot of people had assumed and are now still assuming even more that as he has officially announced that they will not be creating a coin, a token, that apparently maybe he might give more of a boost to Dogecoin and or any other coin. I saw the amount of devastation that was flowing through the cryptocurrency space as this news was released, because a lot of people, I think, were assuming and still assume that new Twitter 2.0, Twitter 3.0, I don't know anymore, is apparently trying to gear up to be a payments platform. A lot of people have been telling me on Twitter 3.0 that this has been the goal since day one. I posted weeks ago that something seemed a bit off when he was changing it to the name X, and everyone was like, no, X is the best name ever. Elon Musk has been naming companies X since the 1990s. That was the original name for PayPal, but it never ends up working out for whatever reason, and I assume also for search engine optimization, it's not going to work out even more. You can't just type in. Anyway, the point is, he's recently announced that they are not going to be creating their own coin, which has caused a bit of stress or distress within the space. We are currently, if you missed this, I don't know how you missed this. We are currently in the midst of what could be the beginning of the cusp of the start of the next bull run, the 2024-2025 bull run. We've been going over it for a very long time. As such, people, usually scammers within the cryptocurrency space, know when these market trends are happening and when the market is about to, if you want to say this, reverse. And this is why you have probably been seeing a gigantic uptick in the amount of bots and or other falsely related cryptocurrency activity. You might remember my video from a couple of days ago called, I think, 100 million XRP giveaway. I saw some people getting upset. You're missing the point of why the video has that name. It's to get you to click so that you understand that other people are going to try to lie to you and scam to you. And I make the video so that you can remember in the future, oh, snap, I remember TMI did the same exact thing. This is clearly a scam. People didn't get it, and this is where we currently are. So people tend to use the image of Elon Musk or Vitalik Buterin, billionaires within the cryptocurrency space, and as such, over the last month or two since X became a thing. The amount of scams has skyrocketed completely from left field. And this is just more of a, people were asking him, are any of these actually you? Which makes no sense. You know how much Elon Musk loves himself? Do you think he would waste an opportunity to not, what is it called? Yeet all over the platform and tell people that he has created his own coin? He would have told everyone before, but alas, here we are. X will, and I quote, never launch its own crypto token, its owner Muskie said. He was replying to a post by a user with the handle CBDoge, who warned others about articles advertising non-existent tokens. The latter bears names such as X token and Twitter token, creating the false impression of links to or authorization by X or Twitter, its previous brand name, and Musk. Investors are lured with claims of incredible price gains in short periods of time. How do people keep falling for this? I'm just not understanding. It's the same exact thing where someone tells you, give me 1 Ether and I'll give you 10. Have you ever experienced that in your lifetime when you're walking down the street, someone says, give me $1 and I'll give you 10 back? Why would this make sense on here? Regardless of how rich Elon Musk is, part of the reason why he's rich is because he's not giving it away to other people on social media platforms. Why, in what way would this have made any kind of sense? Because I know for certain some of these scams were popping up being like, Elon Musk is giving away crypto. Why? Why would he be doing that? How is that even legally possible with all the stuff that's been happening with the SEC right now? How would that have even been made a thing? If you listen, his profile is public. If this man had created something called X token or Twitter token or Twitter coin or X coin or Muskie X, you think he wouldn't have tweeted about it? You think it wouldn't have been on Bloomberg? On all these other, I worry about society so much, so much. And here's a tweet for it right here. I don't know if they have the actual subsequent, reply by him. But for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Twitter token is up 10,000% in 24 hours. How is even logic? These are, so final word, these are going to continue popping up. I can only implore you to, excuse my French here, understand the BS that you are looking at time and time again and realizing that that a lot of that isn't actually fake. If there was going to be a coin, he would probably have announced it. It appears that he says that there will never be one. I still speculate lightly that they are going to be integrating payments into their actual Twitter platform. It just seems to be the most logical thing. So keep your eyes and ears open, because these are only going to get worse as prices move up. For some reason, people just aren't really all there paying attention. Very popular news. As of right now, they said they will never be launching one, so we can put all of that to rest. That's the Elon Musk says they're not launching a crypto coin. And yeah, let's move on. In excitingly disappointing news, I saw this and I couldn't believe it. I saw people talking about it, and then when it got revealed, I was like, they should be ashamed of themselves. Bitstamp has made a big announcement. They've been teasing, Bitstamp, the crypto exchange, has been teasing an XRP cryptocurrency announcement for a little bit. Talking about it's going to be something huge, something momentous. You won't believe what's happening. How could this possibly happen to XRP? You'll never believe what's taking place. The community registered only disappointment as the exchange Bitstamp unveiled a 2% APY, that is a yield or a return on XRP lending. What was the thing that I saw a couple of days ago? It wasn't about Pokemon. I remember what it was now. There's another really famous card game out there. Someone's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. There's another really famous card game a couple of days ago. And they had been teasing a gigantic announcement for like 3 weeks. Huge announcement. You won't believe this. This is going to be the craziest announcement you've ever heard. Gigantic announcement. And all they announced was that they were having a tournament for their anniversary. I understand that, or rather, I try to understand, as I do not own a cryptocurrency exchange, that you want to get people hyped in some sort of way for a thing like this. I will throw in there that as someone who has seen time and time again, crypto exchanges and other places launching different things for people that would get them 4%, 6%, 7%, 8% back on their money in a yearly basis, saying that you have a gigantic announcement and you are offering 2%, which we can't even have the inflation discussion right now, because 2% is like, that's not even gonna lightly cut it. Bitstamp, a prominent digital asset exchange, recently unveiled their highly awaited XRP announcement. However, the revelation has generated a sense of disappointment within the community. Notably, Bitstamp disclosed an increase, geez Louise, in the annual percentage yield for XRP lending to 2%. As you might have oddly imagined, this was, of course, popular news. Anything with Ripple and or XRP right now is making it to the top of the charts. I'm not really sure what they could have done. I feel like maybe like 4.5% would have been like a little bit better. I think 4.5% is a pretty okay number. Like 5% is good. Of course, anything above that is great. 4.5%, I think people would have been lightly excited about this. This reminds me very similar to the old days of Tron and Cardano. We got big news. Big news is coming up. You guys better watch out. And then websites having a countdown for the news, and they're like, we just made a Twitter, and everyone's like, what? Prices have been moving up for 2 weeks in anticipation of this. Anyway, so I mean, it's something. If you're using Bitstamp, it's 2%. Maybe your XRP is just sitting on the exchange doing absolutely nothing. 2% is better than 0. But I mean, time and place. That's the Bitstamp was teasing an announcement. They announced it, and it's 2% back on your XRP if you lend it to people, which is also like, what happens if they don't unlend my money back to me? All right. Let's move on. Also, I'm shocked that this news was so popular. I didn't know that people cared about news like this. Tether, the company behind Tether, may apparently be the 11th, that is 11th, largest Bitcoin holder in the world. This comes after the stablecoin issuer recently published its attestation report for quarter 2 of 2023. So, oh boy, try and knock this one out very quick. You know how we always have discussions about people who are buying up all the Bitcoin, and then a lot of times we get news about big Bitcoin wallets, and everyone's like, whoa, how's that possible? I can't imagine that these billionaires would have been buying up all the Bitcoin. The idea of Tether, Coinbase, Beyonce, Changpeng Zhao, and I'll even throw Elon Musk into there as being one of the largest Bitcoin holders on the planet would not surprise me personally. These companies, keep this in your mind always. Tether is not into crypto only to deal in Tether. These other companies who are talking about like getting into the cryptocurrency space or making their own stable coins, do you think that Changpeng Zhao is only buying Binance coin? It would stand for logic and reason. When you talk about how these people became billionaires, you don't become a billionaire overnight. Keeping in mind a lot of these people did start out with money already, but that's another discussion entirely. A lot of the like mega champions of Bitcoin and Ether got in very early. You want to know why, allegedly, why Mike Novogratz talks so highly about Ethereum? The news is that apparently he got them for $1 each. And apparently, allegedly, he owns over 1 million Ether. Why would he love Bitcoin? Because apparently he got in early as well. It just kind of, you know, I think a lot of times we get cryptocurrency news and people look at it completely for face value. So you'll hear that Charles Hoskinson is the creator of ADA, or co-creator, what have you, and at some point used to work with the people from Ethereum. Do you think that early on working with the people from Ethereum, that he was like, I'm tired of this project, and sold all of his Ether and now only holds ADA? Or do you think if he was there early on in Ethereum, the people from Ethereum, it was a spin-off of what they believed Bitcoin should have been, that maybe he also holds a huge amount of Bitcoin and Ether and a huge amount of Cardano, and probably still has all of his Bitcoin Cash from when the fork actually took place? According to the report, Tether recorded an increase in excess reserves, which grew by $850 million. That is insane. This brought the company's total excess reserves to $3.3 billion US dollars. These excess reserves, and this is once again, this is why I totally believe that Tether is real. Tether has been incredibly transparent with us for a number of years. And there's still one, they just recently did it again a day and a half ago, one news publication that continues to write negative articles about Tether. And I'm like, there is no way that you can be this big and this transparent. And then you're like allegedly actively wanting to do something wrong, which is what people used to say a lot about Tether. No, it's just the largest stable coin that got controlled by a large number of high economic interests, very rich people. And I think other people can't take it. They really want Tether to go away so that their crappy stable coin can also become the number one. You know how much Tether makes hundreds of millions in just fees. And Tether doesn't even have very high fees. Think of how much Tether is being traded every single year and how much money these people are making just from these low fees. It's absolutely insane. These excess reserves are profits that the company does not distribute to shareholders as dividends. Instead, Tether keeps them to shore up its 100% reserves, which are used to back all of their Tether in circulation and to keep the coin stable. Last quarter, Tether published that they held more than $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, roughly around 53,000 Bitcoin in their reserves. Based on the latest quarterly report, this figure has grown by more than $176 million. And allegedly, they roughly hold around 55,000 Bitcoin. Tom Wan, a research analyst at 21Co, found in the last quarter that Tether may be holding all of their Bitcoin in one wallet. I don't think anyone's doing that, but okay, sure. Making them the 12th largest Bitcoin holder at the time. Fast forward to quarter 2 of this year, it appears that the analyst has confirmed his speculations, stating that apparently they bought more Bitcoin, put it into the same exact wallet that he thought was theirs, and now they have 55,022 Bitcoin. Very, very big news. I'm not sure if it was because the word Tether was there. I'm not sure if it had to do with Bitcoin whale news. I can't seemingly figure it out. I would not be shocked at all if the 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 12th, 14th, and 21st largest Bitcoin wallets were also part of cryptocurrency companies that we already have. Do you think Coinbase is just holding crypto for their customers? What do you think is going on behind the scenes? They're using their extra money to buy like as reserves. These people believe that Bitcoin's going to hit $10 million at some point. The Gemini twins in 2012, 2013, I think they said they had 200,000 Bitcoin. Do you think they stopped buying Bitcoin? I'm just throwing that out there. That's apparently Tether might be the 11th largest holder of Bitcoin. I'm not surprised. And I would actually be more shocked if they just had one wallet. I assume they have multiple. To think that they have literally all their eggs in one basket seems extremely unlikely. Anyway, that's the rich people are still accumulating cryptocurrencies when everybody else isn't paying attention news. And yeah, let's move on. Now, I had assumed as a people that we had gone beyond this, that we had somehow moved away from this kind of news because, it just according to a Financial Times article from the 4th of August, the CEO of Coinbase, the cryptocurrency exchange, it says under scrutiny by the SEC, sure, why not? Coinbase is not considering leaving the US market, unlike many other companies that are contemplating leaving the country due to regulatory uncertainty. Remember earlier in the year, or even no, it was also last year, where I was like, cool, we heard that Binance was like winding down their operations in the US and they had been expanding into Dubai and a bunch of other places. We heard that the Gemini twins were trying to move into Ireland and they're trying to get paperwork, I think, in Dubai as well and a bunch of other places. And someone else is trying to get paperwork done in Hong Kong and in Japan, and people moving to Canada and stuff in Latin America, yada, yada. For those of you who missed it, there was a point earlier this year where the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, I think that's his name. Pretty sure that's his name. Doesn't matter. He came forward and he was like, you know what? We don't have any regulatory certainty. I think Coinbase is going to leave the US. You can't see me rolling my eyes, but I've rolled them multiple times and I now have a light headache. There was never, ever going to be any chance of the people from Coinbase ever leaving the United States. They're too, what's the word? I can't even think of I literally can't find the word in my head. I can't imagine a scenario personally where I've tried to work with regulators. I've tried to make you money as a country and you continuously just backhand me as much as humanly possible. When he announced that earlier this year, I was like, you're not. You would never openly announce it. You simply do it. Every time that what was the other one? Was it Bitstamp? No. Who was it? Some company like a day or two ago, they literally were like, okay, deuces. And they got up and they left. And they were like, we're winding everything down. The last day is October 3rd. Get your money off the platform because we won't be doing business with you anymore. This news that's currently on the screen was one of the most popular news stories that we've also had in a while. A lot of people were elated, jovial over the idea that Coinbase was not leaving the United States. Coinbase lives in a regulatory foggy mist. Have you ever played Zelda? Like any Zelda games, trying to go through the Lost Woods? And you just can't. This is what Coinbase is currently going through because they still think that they are priority number one for the SEC. Remember the other companies who announced last year that if they didn't get, regulatory clarity or something from the SEC that they were going to up and leave? And I was like, you should just maybe do it now. And then nearly all of those companies got in trouble for, air quotes, selling or having unregistered securities. The SEC doesn't care about anyone except for the SEC and whoever might be putting money into their pockets. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. You do not need 9 years to make paperwork. You do not need more than a year to say, these coins are a problem. I need crypto exchanges to do this. You answer to this person. Let's move on with our lives. The news that Coinbase is not leaving the United States sent ripples through this. People were like, this is incredible. I can't believe this. I'm not really sure what to add to this other than the fact that maybe some people just need a nap. Maybe just go outside, like kick a ball around, get some fresh air, open a window. A lot of people don't open their windows for whatever reason that might be. Very popular news. Brian Armstrong and Coinbase are not leaving the United States, no matter what the SEC does to them. No matter what I think the SEC could literally take them to court 3 more times, make them delist. If you missed that video, make them delist every coin except for Bitcoin, and they would still sit right in the corner with their hands folded, thinking that they're going to get priority. Coinbase belongs to a very small list of companies who believe that because they were first to launch within the United States, that they should get all the priority. BlackRock and Fidelity are looking at you guys like you have completely lost your minds. So anyway, yeah, you can breathe a sigh of relief. This was never going to happen. I could have told you that back in 1992. So yeah, every other company who has left or who has expanded, golf clap. I know you're going to do just fine. There was never a chance. Coinbase is way too, the word's not even whipped. You understand what I'm saying. They're so, anyway, whoa, I can't believe it. Coinbase is staying in the US. That's some great news to hear. I never thought that would actually be something that we would be hearing in the news. All righty. Let's move on. Also I'm getting like delusional at this point in a lot of news. Valkyrie Funds, an alternative asset management company based in the US, has submitted a filing to allow them to convert their Bitcoin futures ETF BTF into a spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF starting on the 3rd of October. Oh boy. Everyone now thinks that there is going to be a Bitcoin ETF at some point in the near future in the United States. Over the last week or so, the amount of companies who have been attempting to, putting in applications for, trying to launch an Ethereum futures ETF skyrocketed. I think we're at 11 or 12 companies currently right now. A lot of people are also once again at the back of the train trying to assume if at the front car, what are they called? BlackRock and Fidelity, if they get their ETFs pushed through, that everyone else's ETF will get pushed through as well. For those of you who missed the really weird, cringy Grayscale news, Grayscale told the SEC that they should approve every single Bitcoin ETF at the exact same time, as if the SEC cares about anything that anyone but the SEC is actually saying. So we've seen a gigantic ramp up in the amount of companies who are now listing to be approved for Bitcoin ETFs by the SEC. The saddest and weirdest part is that if the US SEC stays on track as they have for the last 9 years and no Bitcoin ETFs are approved, that is to say even BlackRock and Fidelity, which I think is a little weird if they don't get chosen, but it's the SEC, then we now will then have a group of like 20 companies behind them who are also still waiting to get listed as well. Thus, if they say no to the first train car, everyone else in the back, especially the caboose, no one's going to actually get put through. So I understand the optimism. This is also, if you've been watching the last month of videos, the amount of like price predictions are getting a little out of hand right now, where people think that Bitcoin's price is going to be, because they are already pricing in what they believe to be the actual approval of a Bitcoin ETF from the SEC. This is where we're hearing about all these like six figures by the end of this year or by April. So, Eric Balchunas, senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg, observed that the proposed date will be 2 weeks ahead of the scheduled launch of the other 13 filers, noting that he is keen to see how this plays out. Here's a tweet for it right here. I have zero hope. I simply can't lie to you. I know that there are other people. I've seen other crypto YouTubers telling people, man, you can't that those weren't words, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like trying to hype people up. Understand that the SEC is one gigantic like frothing monster. They don't like any cryptocurrency, not even Bitcoin. Like the idea of Bitcoin being a commodity does not mean that they're going to allow a product like this to go through. They think that the Bitcoin ETF market can still be manipulated based off of whatever they keep lying to themselves and lying to us about as well. We are in a very interesting time right now. Between inflation, between interest rates going to continue to rise, the stock market's not doing too hot. People waiting and talking about the stock market's going to have a bull run at any moment that's going to singe eyebrows or whatever that thing that, is, oh my gosh, my eyebrows, the market's moving up a little bit too fast. The Bitcoin halving is coming. More than a dozen people filing for a physical Bitcoin ETF, not even talking about the Ethereum futures ETFs. It's like a really weird, if this all ends up happening, perfect storm kind of thing where we are in like a great place. But history has told me for quite some time now, it's been about a decade, the SEC, they're monsters. The only reason why we were able to celebrate about Ripple winning that portion of the lawsuit is because it was ruled on by a judge who understands logic. Think about that. If it was in the room, if it was just the SEC and Ripple, we would still be there because the SEC would not let up. So unless there's some kind of congressional, senatorial, something kind of judge who can rule on all of this, that the SEC has been unfair and therefore their ETF should get listed, this is going to take years. My opinion. This is just how I feel because So anyway, it would be a momentous occasion if the world stock markets began to move back up, if they stopped raising interest rates, if we got back to the 2% for inflation, if we got 13 gosh darn physical Bitcoin ETFs, we would probably see a $120,000, $130,000 Bitcoin by the time we got to March or April. Because those 13 would become 27 once people know exactly what paperwork they have to put through, how the paperwork has to be worded. But, I was going to say I'm trying to remain optimistic, but I'm just trying to be a realist here. The SEC is who they are, and we just simply can't assume that they're going to do, air quotes, what's right. Yeah, that's the Valkyrie is now trying to convert their Bitcoin futures fund into a physical Bitcoin ETF on the 3rd of October. Fingers crossed. Yeah, cool. All right. Let's move on. Yeah, I do hopeth that you've all enjoyed. I do hope sincerely that you all are having a great day. a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. I was gonna ask like what coins everyone's buying. I think most people tend to have like a very specific set of coins that they're buying, and they tend to stick to those quite closely. And I can kind of usually figure out what coins people are leaning towards. Just as a reminder, a lot of scam coins are going to continue popping up. Hope that you avoid them. If it smells like a duck and it quacks like a duck and they're offering you 39% return on your money, it's probably a crypto duck. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.